Hi guys, let's learn about Docker and container technology. So, what is Docker and containers? What's difference between container technology and virtual machine or VM? And how to install Docker on Ubuntu Server 20.04 Vocalfossa. So, if you are an IT person, I suggest you to at least understand the concept of containers. Me myself already using the containers technology, especially Docker, since like 3 or 4 years ago. It's a bit late, but it's better late than never, right? So let's jump right in. When we talk about Docker, actually we talk also about containers because Docker is the applications that manage processes in containers. Containers let you run applications in resource-isolated processes. They are similar to virtual machines, but containers are more portable, more resource-friendly, and more dependent on the host operating system. Why do we need Docker when we already have virtual machine? Let's take a look at this VM concept. In VM, infrastructure is reserved for each VM. I mean, you need to define how many processor, memory, and storage are going to be used in a VM. VM also known to be resource intensive and heavy because each VM must have its own operating system. And as we know it, operating system itself requires some resources. So using the same server hardware specification, VM runs fewer applications in the server. VM also known to be overhead and complexity intensive because using VM, we need to maintain and update various operating systems. In the development perspective, in VM, it's slower to deploy an applications because, of course, when you are going to deploy a VM for an applications, you need to predefine the resources first, the processor, how many processor are going to use, how many memory are going to use, how many storage, and then after that, you need to set up the operating system. Then after that, you need to specify the libraries and install the application. So the process of deploying an application is longer and slower compared to Docker. Now, let's take a look at containers. As you can see on the diagram, we don't need to reserve any infrastructures. We don't need to predefine how many processor, memory, or how many storage we need in a containers. When a containers need more resources, it can use available resources from the servers on the fly, automatically. So basically, you don't need to worry about resource limit on the VM level. Containers are lighter because there's only one operating system running on the servers and to keep update and to maintain. Because of it, it doesn't really need additional operating system. All containers uses the same host operating system and can take resources directly from the host when needed. And because of this, containers known to be lightweight. Containers can run more application in the server with the same hardware specification compared to VM. And in the development perspective, containers known to be faster to deploy an application. Simply upload the application and define the dependencies. Let me give you another illustration. Let's say we have a server with 8 cores and 16 thread processors, 32 gigabyte memory, and 1 terabyte storage. For the infrastructure standpoint, VM need to plan ahead for the infrastructure. Each VM at least need around 2 processors, 4 gigabyte memory, and at least 125 gigabyte storage. This is basically the standard of modern operating system requirements. We also need at least the same specification reserved for the host operating system, right? So we can only create around 7 VM max, and with the assumption of each VM runs one applications, we can only run around 7 applications. In Docker, for the infrastructure, you don't need to plan ahead. We can have as much as containers as possible until the server reach its limit. Okay, for the operating system in VM, each VM needs to run its own operating system. That means there will be around 8 operating systems to install and to maintain. In Docker, we only need the host operating system. Very simple. So what happens if one application needs more resources? In virtual machine, the processor, memory, or storage usage in the VM will reach 100%, which means it's already meet its VM limit. Now, as an IT, we need to check each VM resource usage so we can recalculate and reconfigure the resources being used by each VM. This reconfiguration will cause the VMS to be shut down. In many cases, you need to move that particular VM to another server or to another dedicated server. In Docker, the container can use available resources. Any available processor, any available memory or storage, the container can use it as needed and it happens automatically. You don't need to worry about it. So, for example, if we have 10 applications, if applications only using one processor, that means only 10 processors being used. 6 still available. Okay. Suddenly, one application needs around 3 processor. Then basically in Docker, that application, that container can use another 2 from the 6 available processor automatically. In VM, you cannot do that. In VM, you need to shut down the VM and I think you will need to shut down more than one VM and then reduce the number of processor in one VM to be allocated to another VM that needed. That's downtime. And actually, the process is not as easy as I explained. It's more complicated than that, especially if you have very limited specifications in your server. Okay, now let's install Docker on Ubuntu Server 20.04 Vocalfossa. Let's open the terminal first and then connect to our server using SSH. You can have your own machine for the server, or you can also use virtual machine for the server. Okay, now open the link and the descriptions. Okay, basically you only need to copy and paste the command to the server. Okay, first is to update the software repository. And then install pre-required site packages. Okay, then add the GPG key. And add a Docker repository. Again, update the software repository database to load the Docker applications in the repository. And then update the cache. It's done. Finally, let's install Docker. Here we install Docker CA, which means it's Docker Community Edition. After that, we check if the Docker up and running or not. Okay, now we see that there is Docker here and it's running. Okay, now we need to run this so we don't have to run any Docker command without sudo. So basically, every time you run the Docker command, you need sudo clause, something like sudo docker blah. So we can override that. So you just need to do something like docker blah rather than sudo docker blah. Okay. Done. We need to log out and log in again. And it's done. So our first container will be Portainer. Let's install Portainer here. This is basically a web interface to manage Docker container. Okay, now let's try to browse the server, and since Portainer using port 9000, so let's try browse there. 192.168 43 233 and the port. Ta-da! It's working! It's working, it's working. Let's set up the Portainer then. We need to create a password here. Confirm your password. Then create user. Oh, not long enough. Okay, this should be enough. This should be enough. Let's create user. Now, since we use the Portainer for Docker, let's just use Docker here. Then connect. There's our first containers named Portainer. Here we can see all the configuration on the left side. We can see there is only one image here, which is Portainer that's running. We can see the containers. What are the containers running on the server, which is currently only Portainer. So guys, that's it. Up to this point, you should be able to understand what is the container, what's the comparison between containers and VM or virtual machines, and how to do installation of Docker in Ubuntu Server 20.04 Vocal Fossa. And also you can also running your first container, which is Portainer, the web administration for Docker. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for watching this video from the beginning till the end. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to comment. Give me inputs, whether you like this video or not, what's missing in this video, and what need to be improved for my next video. Thank you very much. See you on the next video.